Hello, everyone. Superhero motivation over here. This is my podcast about being happy or sad. Being happy or sad. Then I ask myself, what happened? What are the things that caused me to be happy or sad? Well, that was one of the questions of my viewer. I'm sad. I'm really sad. But it's actually not the question. I was the one who was questioning. But why would you let your emotions decide how you feel? I ask myself, why would I feel about something because you decide to be attached to words or things that's happened in your life? Is it because you want to feel what has happened? Why would you take it personal if this was not personal? Things that's unpredictable, but that had happened in your life. Why would you take it personal and use your emotion to judge about the situation? It doesn't make sense. Especially when in the past, you should not get stuck in the past. Why would you say to yourself, things that happened 10 years ago, this made me sad. Now I feel sad. So things that happened 10 years ago, you wasted 10 years to be sad? I can't. I can't let 10 years of my time be wasted by something that had happened in my life. I'm not judging. But I learned that crying, being sad about something, that wasted my time. I could use the time to build something. Why would I use the time to cry? It doesn't mean you don't need to grieve. Life is unpredictable. Of course. There are times you say, okay, man, I want to cry. Yeah, sure, cry. Grab a pillow, cry, scream. Well, that's it. Life goes on. I have never wasted my time, like 10 years of my time to cry about something. I used the time of 10 years to rebuild my life. You should too. Why? Because if you could choose 10 years of crying, being sad, or 10 years to build your life, building a future. You could go to school, graduate, build a career, have your own project. Isn't that the way how we should live? Isn't that our happiness should be decide what we are doing with our life? That's why the most of the time when I ask someone, when that person is sad, what are your hobbies? What are you actually doing in your life? What you're doing in your free time? That's the first questions I would ask someone. What are you really doing? And most of the time I don't get this answer. Most of the time I don't get an answer. Why? I assume this person is not doing anything or has not anything like a hobby. I don't judge, but why don't I get an answer? This is something different. When you are already get help, professional help, you have an incident or a trauma, I won't judge. But a person would just say to me, yo, I'm sad. I'm sad, but what are your hobbies? What are you doing in your free time? Now, if you cannot answer me properly, I would assume you have nothing. Like I said, it's in the podcast, I've told you earlier, guys, happiness is not how you feel, but the things what you do. So the things what you do decides your happiness. If you decide, okay, cooking is my happiness, I like cooking, I enjoy cooking, and cooking is meaningful because I have a nice meal. Good, then it's meaningful, it's happiness. So I don't have a reason to be sad. So every activity, like cleaning the toilet. Now cleaning the toilet is good, right? You put some music in your ears, you like music, you enjoy music while cleaning the toilet. And cleaning the toilet is also meaningful. Happy you. If you clean toilet, you go toilet, go piss, go poop. You're happy. That's my happiness. Or am I just making up stories? I may not like cleaning the toilet for the first time, but I enjoy it with music. So what's your favorite music? Well, cleaning the toilet. Well, that's happiness. So I don't have a reason to be sad. Yeah, of course. Of course some things happen in my life. I don't pretend our life is like complete. How do you say it? Well, there's nothing going on. It's not a fairy tale. If I would say life is perfect, it's a fairy tale. I would tell you fairy tale, but it's not. I know life is not perfect. I know life is difficult. Okay? And there are people who reminds me life is not that easy. No, thank you for much. Thank you so much for reminding me that life is not easy. Thank you so much. Like they assume I have an easy life. Thank you so much. Congratulations, your life is tough. Congratulations. But who said life was easy? No one. To be sad, yeah, of course, it's possible. Like I said, it's when you grab a pillow, you scream, you cry. Okay, man, life goes on and you do the things you want. And when you do the things you want, you're happy. Well, never let emotions take over what you're doing in life. What I'm trying to say, don't let your emotions control you for what you do. If you work in your daily life, you're laying bricks for your living. Yeah, so be it, man. Laying bricks is happiness. Well, then you're not sad. Of course, there are sad things happening in your life. But still, if you're laying bricks and laying bricks is your life work, then laying bricks is happiness. Who cares? I don't really care how I feel in a life. I only care what I do. As long as I can create a new podcast, that's happiness. As long as I can give you advice, that's happiness. As long as I can talk, cooking, cleaning the toilet, go for a dog walk with my dog, that's happiness. I don't complain. Happy or sad? I'm not happy because what I possess. It's about what I do. There are people who say, okay, I have a lot. I have a house, I have a car, and a lot of possessions. But it's still sad. I have seen wealthy people cry in the corner. It doesn't matter if you possess a lot of things. People think, oh, I don't possess this. I don't have a house. I don't have a car. I'm sad. Well, that's materialism. Believe me, if you have a nice house, car, or I don't know how much you earn in the future, but this doesn't make you happy. I have seen wealthy people cry in a corner. It doesn't matter how many things you possess in life. It doesn't make you happy, man. Because if you still feel empty, if you don't have the spiritual connection with yourself, with God or the nature, you still feel empty. There are people, yes, they have everything, but they still feel empty. Do you want to live the life? Before we just talking about happy or sad, then ask yourself, what am I doing in my life? What is my life? How does my life look like? If I just asking myself, really, am I just happy or sad because what I possess? While I'm doing nothing? While I'm doing nothing. Hey man, I'm sad. Yes, of course you're doing nothing. You're doing something, you have a hobby, you're happy. Yes, of course, I believe you, man. You go to the forest, you play piano, you're cooking, you're cleaning the toilet, you're laying bricks. Well, you're happy, right? Yes, that's how we do, man. Guys, happy or sad, If you're doing something, you're happy. If you're doing nothing, you're sad. Well, that's how I see things. So being happy is not what you possess, but what you do. If you just looking up to the white ceiling, like I said previous time, then it's sad. Well, I understand it's sad. Okay, guys, see you next time in the next podcast. See you. Bye bye.